All right, so bear with me here. I'm trying to do a video. I wanted to do like a follow up to this horn shootout that I did because I got rid of a bunch of horns and I got some new horns, and I also got some new gear. So I'm trying to make better quality videos and posts and things like that. I haven't podcasted in a while, and that's kind of why I bought this mic. But I found that the SM7B from Shure is an outstanding horn mic, vocal mic, broadcasting mic. It's a great mic all around. And you can see that when you have glasses and you get one of those Instagram or TikTok ring light things, all you see is that crap in your eyes. Yeah, reflecting on my glasses. Maybe I should have got the anti-reflectant glasses for computer screens. Anyway, so what I'm trying to do, just for anyone that's interested, is I'm recording the video on my phone, and it's probably capturing the audio too, but I'm obviously recording the audio in my DAW through my nice mic. So hopefully this thing sounds way better than it does, but I think you have to record the audio on the phone too so that you can sync this up. I have no idea. I have not done a thing like this where you do two separate inputs like this, so I'm not sure how this is going to work. But anyway, let's get to it. I'm going to try to minimize the cuts and edits on this because I just hate editing. But in any event, what we're going to do is I'm going to compare a couple of horns that I have, and I got some new ones. So let me start. Actually, maybe I should just do the two new ones since we already heard the Schilke a bunch of times. Maybe we'll just do the Yamaha 731, which is an old school horn, and the Couesnon that I got from Alan Ruben, rest in peace, from Jay Landers Brass. Anyway, let's take a look at these bad boys, right? All right, so this is the Couesnon. Wow, right? Yeah, this is a bad boy right here, huh? Yeah, this is nice. See, it's got the bumper guard that I like on there. So I don't know how much work they had to do on this thing when they got it, but this was from the late Alan Ruben, famous for playing in Saturday Night Live band and the Blues Brothers band, but just a great New York City horn player. But yeah, this is a bad boy, right? Look at that thing. Whee! It's all original patina. They didn't do anything to it other than do a valve alignment just to get all the spacing right. And it's still a little out of whack, but this is a really nice horn. Definitely. It's actually my number one now. I play this thing on every recording that you've heard in the last, I don't know, 6 months or so has been this particular Flugelhorn. It's kind of like, I don't know if you can see this, but see how it's very much like a trumpet, the way this valve, this second slide is kind of tilted back. Can you see that? How it's on an angle? Yeah. And my fat ass thumb normally it would go in there. It can't fit. So it kind of makes a bit of a gap on how you hold it, and it's not bad, but it's just awkward feeling. And your fingers don't really fit. I got big fat hands, so they don't really fit anywhere. So it was a little strange to get used to holding this thing. And let me show you the Yamaha real quick. So the Yamaha is got the traditional wrap in here. See how that's straight? Can you see it? Yeah, it doesn't angle. So there's tons of room. Your thumb fits right in there in between the first and second valves. So it's very comfortable. It has a nice tight pinky ring right here. So that fits really nice. And my fingers can either go here or all the way. I love this horn because, and the Couesnon as well, because they don't have the trigger. Now, granted, having the third valve trigger on a Flugelhorn can be pretty helpful because that typically a D or a C sharp are pretty out of tune, right? But you can lip that a little bit. And again, I work out of a studio, so it's not the same as playing live. I can kind of tweak things if need be. But yeah, it's nice because you could hold it all, real comfortably like that, like this, put your finger up there. There's a lot because there's no trigger in the way here. Like on the Schilke, that, your hand is on this trigger right here. Anyway, so this is the Yamaha. It's a nice silver. It's a 731. You can't see. Actually, there's nothing on the bell. Well, it's underneath my little grippy thing here. Anyway, but yeah, this is a really nice horn too. All right, here's the piece de resistance, if you will. I mean, this is really just such a beautiful horn. Look at how cool this thing is. There's the trigger that I was talking about. But this has the ultimate wrap, right? So you can put your thumb in here because there's tons of room. You can see there's a lot of room in there, or you can just wrap it right around because it's really it's really comfortable to hold it even like that. Now I find that if for whatever reason, if it's because I played trumpet for so long, I don't know, but putting my finger in that traditional spot seems to give me a better valve scenario. But the Schilke is, man, this is a beauty. If not for some of the intonation issues that I just can't seem to get away from on this thing, man. And I've tried honestly 100 mouthpieces, whole bunch of different choices. So I guess it's just me. I don't know, but this is, I mean, look at this thing. It's just sick. I did put jumbo, like these XL extenders. Those are longer than normal, but it gives you a bigger hold. So I like, so again, here on the Schilke, you gotta, you know, there's the valve there, the trigger there. So you gotta do that. But you can hold it. This is the most versatile. You can hold this thing any number of ways. I don't even know. I think I probably do that most of the time because it gives you the opportunity to get in there at the trigger. And, but I mean, look at this thing. I've had wraps and stuff on this to, you know, to try to stop that, but this horn is so beautiful. It's just a shame to cover it up. So I don't, but yeah, I mean, as far as craftsmanship and just outright beautiful instrument, this thing is just ridiculous. I love this horn. And while it's an enormous investment, and I wrestle with the idea of like, well, geez, do I really need a horn like this if I'm just going to let it kind of sit around and I play another really old kind of crusty horn all the time on all my recordings? This horn, I think it would be such a mistake to get rid of it. All right, let's get to, well, let me show you one more. Thank God for editing. Holy cow. I just like crashed, knocked over a horn. Anyway, check this weird, anyway, thank God for editing. Holy cow. I just like crashed, knocked over a horn. Anyway, check this weird, I don't know what this is. Other than, yeah, honestly, at this point, I don't even remember what this horn is. I bought it on eBay for like $200, and then I sent it out to Jay Landris Brass to have them just kind of go over it and clean up the finish. And man, they put some finger rings on it. They did an amazing job to this clunker. So this is, it's what it says on the bell is Caravelle, but I think this is some kind of Getson Besson thing. But it's got the regular trumpet center section. So you can see it's not, doesn't have the drooping, you know, the down turning, slides. It's set up like a trumpet. Now I had all this stuff put on. So I had the pinky ring put on. I had these two rings put on, but this works just like a regular trumpet. This part comes out, which is cool. Decent compression. It's actually pretty buttery. It's got a pretty nice fat bell, and they obviously scratch the finish, but I don't know if you can see what that says on there. The glare is ridiculous, but this is a really cool looking horn. But I think it's half trumpet, half flugel. So they took like this whole section here off of a trumpet, a Besson or a Getson trumpet. It feels like Getson because of the way the valves are screwed in. The threading is on the inside. Anyway, so I don't know. It's a trumpet, but I didn't have one like this, and it was so cheap. I'm like, whatever, I'll just get it. And it really wasn't in too bad a shape. But the first valve is kind of, even after Jay Landris played around with it, they're like, hey man, this thing is pretty jacked up. We did the best we could with it, but it's pretty wacky. This doesn't actually move. It's just decorative, you know, like aesthetic. So you can hold it like a regular trumpet. It's actually, I'm not sure if I like this decision or not, because it's kind of in the way, but I kind of hold this thing down here anyway. So, but yeah, this is cool. So I'll play this one too. It's, be forewarned, it's definitely out of tune. It's not, but it's great to play because it actually has a really nice fat sound. And because it had a weird insert, so it can only fit the small Morse taper. So I'll have to use this Bach 2FL in here on this one, but the other ones will be using a Dennis Wick 4FL just for consistency. Even though I do have this really killer 3XL from Lotus. That's a really nice mouthpiece too. Maybe I'll play that one too. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's get to the play testing. So first up, we'll do the Couesnon. right. So there it is. All four actually. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I wasn't sure that was really my greatest playing, but the point is I wanted to be able to show off a bunch of different horns and let you know that, everything from, a $300 or $400 cheapo to a $3,000 or $4,000, handmade horn. They're all playable. They all sound unique. Find your sound. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, right? I mean, I'm never going to be a Wynton Marsalis or a Miles Davis or anything like that. I'm just Garrett Michael Conklin. And that's the best that I can do on the horn. And I encourage everyone to go out there and, do your best. Because a lot of people reach out to me. They're like, well, and it's this horn or that horn, or I don't get this sound. It's like, yeah, man, we can go after sound forever. I mean, really, it's no different than guitar or any other instrument, trying to get that ultimate tone. But what it really comes down to, whether you play guitar or horn, this or these, moreover than anything else. And what I've really found is that don't deny what feels right for you. And I've said this before, but it's so true. Whether I play guitar or not, I love the Fender Stratocaster guitar, just to completely go on a tangent here. I love that guitar. Just aesthetically, I can't play the thing at all. I pick up a Gibson or an Epiphone SG. It's as if that guitar was made for me. Just anything off the rack. That guitar just, I don't know, whatever it is, it makes me a better player. And that's what it comes down to. So find the instrument that makes you a better player. It doesn't have to be a $10,000 instrument. And a lot of times those really aren't the best for most people. It's up in here that makes you think that it's a super expensive. I play a $400 Epiphone SG better than I play a $3,000 Gibson Les Paul that I've had. So I got to go with what works best for me. And that's the advice I give to everyone, is that just, use what works for you, and who gives a crap how much it costs or what it looks like or, where it was made or any of that stuff. Just play what makes you a great player, because ultimately it's the tool, right? It's just the tool for you to express yourself. So I don't really know which one of these four horns is the best one for me, but what I do know is I play the Couesnon the most. And, if you guys remember from the last one, I had a Thomann, and I still have that. I haven't played that in a while, but honestly, that one was my number one for a long time. But I'm stuck in my head a little bit. I'm being stupid. I'm not taking my own advice in that, I really, I probably should just play that horn, because that's the one I used to go to most often. But, in any event, I don't know. Tell me which one in the comments. I'd love to know which one you guys think sounded the best. Now, remember, every one of them except that weird Getzen Besson thing, the trumpety looking one, they all were using a Dennis Wick 4FL mouthpiece. So that, you're really just getting the characteristics of the horn rather than the mouthpiece, because any horn players know if you start screwing around with mouthpieces, you get totally different sounds. So just to keep it kind of consistent and affordable, again, a Dennis Wick 4FL is like $50. They're pretty, that's just a basic silver plated model, nothing fancy. So just for consistency's sake, I use the same mouthpiece, but I have hundreds of mouthpieces that I use, and I actually record with this really weird Sound Freak thing. Here it is. It's a weird, it's got like a flat spot in the middle, and it makes like a super, super airy horn sound. So that's actually what I use to record everything with. And then of course, so I didn't want to use that and everything because it doesn't fit in all these horns. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I don't know. I got a lot of comments and a lot of feedback on the last one, so that was cool. So I figured I'd do a follow-up. So hope this helped somebody out there, and, thanks for watching. See ya.